Don't mind my shiny bare face and rosy cheeks, but today we are all about that base. Hello Starlets, I'm Sarah from Everyday Starlet. Welcome to my channel. I make videos to inspire you to be the best version of yourself and live your dreams. Today I'm doing an updated how I do my base makeup video. I get a lot of questions on Instagram about how I do my makeup for my Instagram photos. So I did a video on how I do like the smoky eye makeup look. That's sort of the basic look I do for my eyes in most of my Instagram posts. But honestly, my base makeup is almost exactly the same, and I've really sort of settled into the products that I like. I rarely ever stray from these products when it comes to base makeup. I'm going to show you what I do, and let's get into this. I start with skincare. I have a whole video on my full skincare routine, which I don't believe has changed at all since I made the video, so I will link that video to this one. And then the first thing I always start with is my Hourglass Veil Mineral Primer. I've tried a ton of primers, and this is my absolute favorite. To be honest, I'm not one of those people that won't go without putting makeup on. I'm totally fine just like running to the store without makeup, but I always wear makeup if I'm like going someplace. You know, like going out someplace. But I'm not one of those people that like won't leave their house without makeup on. So next I use my all-time favorite foundation. This is the Too Faced Born This Way. I am in the shade Nude. I look crazy right now. I am gonna show you the full glam base makeup version. I use basically the same things every time I wear makeup. It's just I'll skip a few steps if I'm just doing like a everyday thing. This is my Clarisonic foundation brush. If you have like oilier skin and you don't like, you want like coverage but you don't want anything that's like heavy or cakey, this is the perfect balance. It gives me like sort of that perfect even flawless look, but it never feels heavy or cakey. And I always go over it with a damp beauty blender to just even it out, make sure everything is nice and smooth and flawless. I guess I'll include my brows in this video. I wasn't sure if I should or if I should do a separate video, but I don't really feel like what I do for my brows is really worth doing a separate video. It's changed a little bit since the last time I sort of did like a brow routine video. I use the Anastasia Brow Wiz and I use medium brown. I used to use like a taupe and try to do like the lightest color, but my eyebrows themselves are actually kind of dark because my natural hair color is a little bit darker than this blonde that I've got going here. I still like a cool tone, so I like the medium brown because it is more of a cool toned brunette. I don't like anything to be warm at all because my skin tone is so cool toned and my natural hair color is very cool toned. So I like the medium brown, and I just kind of, I go lightly. I'll kind of do this probably every day. I mean, I'm not one of those people that won't leave the house without their brows done. Like, I don't really care, but I do like to just kind of go in very lightly, just sort of pencil them in. I've kind of gotten used to the idea of darker brows with a lighter hair color. I feel like it adds a little bit more character to my face maybe. And so what I've been doing lately is I take the medium brown Anastasia Brow Powder Duo, and I take, this is a Real Techniques brow brush, and I take the lighter shade here and I kind of concentrate that on like the inside. Kind of gives my brows a little bit more of like an airbrushed look. And then I take the darker side, the same brush, and I focus kind of like on the middle and the tip. And I just kind of try to get them as even as possible. I mean, they should be sisters, not twins. So don't get obsessive about, you know, evenness or anything like that. Somebody actually commented, they're like, I don't think your brows are uneven, I think your face is uneven. And I was like, what are you gonna do? Anyway, I use the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer in the shade Honey. This is what I use to cover up my dark circles. I've tried so many, I just got that in my eyebrow. That was not intentional. Okay. I've tried so many of like the peachy toned creams and stuff to try to cover up dark circles, and I kind of found this on accident because I accidentally bought this color. I was like, oh, you know, it's kind of peachy. I'm gonna try it for this, and I love it because it's not too heavy. It blends in nicely because it's my favorite concealer. I use the Real Techniques setting brush to just kind of blend that in. So then I use the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer in the shade Vanilla, and I'm just gonna put some under my eyes. I try not to go overboard because I don't really like a lot of heavy stuff under my eyes. I just kind of go in and I blend that in, and I kind of blend it into the, like, I kind of put it under the eye, but I kind of like blend it up in to kind of cover up the cover up, so to speak. I have yet to find a concealer, and I've yet to find a concealer that works as well. And you know, if it doesn't work for you, you know, that's the reason why there's so many different concealers out there, is because not everything is gonna work on everyone's skin, but I love it. I can't find another one that even comes close. So the next thing I would typically do is do my eye makeup, but I'm gonna do that off camera. So I'm just gonna kind of keep going. My new favorite powder, this is probably the most new thing, the only new thing maybe in my, this is the Hourglass Veil Translucent Setting Powder, which the fact that I am so obsessed with the primer, I assumed I was gonna like the powder, and I love the powder. It's expensive, but I mean, it's so luxurious. I mean, the packaging and everything. The only thing I will say is, like, I can tell there's more powder in here, but not a lot is coming out when I shake it. So I kind of feel like you don't get a whole lot, but it's so worth it. I love this powder. And then I take a separate Real Techniques setting brush. I have a bunch of these things because I love these brushes and the size. They work so well, especially for under eye stuff. And I just kind of set my under eyes. I just use a light dusting just because I just want to set it. I don't go overboard. I don't bake. It's not my thing. Okay, so before I put powder all over my face, because you want to use all your cream products first before you powder, I'm going to use my Fenty Beauty Match Stick in Amber. And I did a full review of a bunch of Fenty Beauty products, and I didn't like this product when I first tried it, but I kind of played around with it, and I've actually come to really like it. I'll skip this step. I won't do cream contour if I'm just doing like an everyday look. This is really just the full glam thing. Everything else is stuff I probably would do for an everyday look. This is like only my full glam kind of thing. So yeah, I kind of just focus it just in the hollows of my cheeks. I don't do a heavy nose contour, but I kind of feel like, you know, while I have it out, I might as well contour whatever. I contour my chin or my jawline. Now, here's the game changer. I tried going in and blending this out with a beauty blender, and I found like it just disappeared. Like it didn't do anything, which is why I didn't like it the first time I tried it. But then I started using the Real Techniques sculpting brush. Real Techniques is not sponsoring this video. Nobody is sponsoring this video. I just really love Real Techniques brushes. I think that they're affordable and they last forever, and they have so many different shapes, and I love Real Techniques brushes. So if they want to sponsor me, hey Real Techniques. How you doing? All right, so I just go in and I kind of just sort of lightly buff it into the skin. I'm not really wiping, I'm just sort of like patting, because I find that this stuff can sort of just like wipe away very easily. So I'm really just kind of like patting it into the skin, just so I get like a really subtle contour. Okay, next I go in with what little powder I could get out of here. And I have a lot of different powder brushes that I like. This is the Real Techniques Bold Metals brush, and it needs to be cleaned, but it's taking me forever to get this stuff out. I have another one and I could open it. I'm being really stubborn because it's so expensive, and like I want every last drop of this out of the packaging. Sort of lightly dust over my face. I like this because it does mattify my skin, but it still lets the natural glow coming through, which is no surprise because that's just sort of, Hourglass just knows base makeup. They're not sponsoring this either, but I know they're expensive, but you really can't beat the glow. I know some people would not use powder every day. I do. My skin does tend to be more oily. If your skin tends to be drier and you don't want to use powder, totally fine. Another thing that I probably do every day, this is the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Powder in Mood Light. I have a review of all of the, at least all the ambient lighting powders that I had at the time, and I do not like this for all over my face. It's too dark a color, the tone is just too pinky, it made my skin look weird. I do like this as either a blush or like a pre-blush. I don't know what you'd call it. I really like this. I use like a blush brush. This is actually a Real Techniques blush brush. I'll try to link all the brushes below because I get a lot of questions on the brushes I use. I kind of just do this like all over my cheeks. I make sure I don't get it anywhere like in the center of my face. This is just kind of like something that adds a glow to the cheeks. If this is just every day, I would like just use this as my blush. If I'm going full glam, I'll usually put like another blush on top of it, which I'll get to in a minute. This next product is very controversial. I think it's discontinued. I'm hoping it's not because I've hit pan on this and I really want to get another one because I've never found anything I like as much as this. The NYX HD Blush in Taupe. If I can't find this, I'm gonna cry, but I have a feeling it's been discontinued. I have a video comparing this to a very expensive contour powder, and I liked this so much better. I would say that that video is one of the videos that I get the most criticism on because people have told me that I didn't apply the expensive one properly, but I applied this one. This is actually a Sephora brush. I'm not even sure if this is still available, but I really like this for contour powder, and I just go on subtly here. I actually had someone the other day that commented on the video. They were like, why haven't you taken this video down? Aren't you embarrassed by this video? And I was like, no. Like, I don't know. I gave my opinion. I tried 2 products. I gave my opinion about them. I have no reason to be embarrassed. I'm certainly not gonna be embarrassed by contour. So then what I love to do, this is my favorite bronzer ever. Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer, and this is in light bronzer. I think they have a lot more shades now. I've hit pan on this. I do have a backup though, so let's stay calm. This is the Real Techniques. I've been using this brush so much, I don't even know the name of it. The name is rubbed off. I do like a 3. See, it's like a in and down. And this, I feel like, for me, because I have a rounder face, like a wider face, having the darkness on the outside slims the face, but I also feel like when I do this, it kind of helps to blend in my contour so it looks a little bit less harsh. I'm not a big blush person, but I've kind of gotten into the Hourglass blushes, and I kind of bought these mini ones because they're cheaper, and it takes me forever to use up a blush because I don't even wear it every day. These minis are just a more affordable way to go. The 2 blushes that I like the most are Mood Exposure and Diffused Heat. I will typically use the Mood Exposure if I'm doing more of a cool toned look, whereas if I'm doing more of a warm toned look, I'll use the Diffused Heat. I don't know what kind of look I'm doing today. I didn't make that decision yet. I was just gonna do my base makeup. So I'm probably gonna go with Mood Exposure. I kind of just do this in the apples of my cheeks, and I go so lightly, you can hardly even tell that I did anything. I'm just not a blush person. My cheeks are naturally rosy, as you could probably tell from the beginning of the video. Now, as far as highlights go, I have a few different options. If I'm just doing like an everyday look, is like the highlighter. My favorite shade is the Cotton Candy Cream. Although I have actually gotten into using the Strawberry Shortcake if I'm doing like a real pinky kind of look. But if I want full glam, you gotta go with Fenty. Their highlighters can be seen from space. I absolutely adore their highlighters. 2 that I have that I love the most. This is the Mean Money and Hustler Baby. As you can see, I'm hitting pan on this one. And this is a newer one to me. This is Girl Next Door and Chic Freak. I use this when I'm doing more of like a pinky kind of look. This one is more of like a peachy tone, which I'll do this with just about any look. So I'm gonna do this one because this one's a little bit more intense. What I'll usually do is go with, I'm assuming this is Mean Money on this side, which is a little bit more of like just a subtle sheen. And I'll just kind of go lightly over the areas where I highlight. See, it's subtle, but it does give you like just a subtle glow. And then I go in with a more concentrated brush here. And I guess this is Hustler Baby on the side. Might be the other way around, I don't know. But the one that's like more of like the real shimmery highlight, I will go over with more of like a pointed tip brush to really get that glow. Look at that. That is a glow right there. Oh yeah. I don't know if the highlighter on the tip of the nose trend is out or not, but I like it, so. And on the upper lip, which this is the one that fades the quickest because you do so many things with your mouth, and I mean that in a clean way, completely. I will actually sometimes use the shimmery shade in the inner corners too, but I'll usually do that like after I do my eye makeup. So yeah, this is how I do my base makeup. I'm gonna do the rest of my makeup, and then I will meet you back here to wrap this up. Okay, so here is the finished look right here. I actually did my eye makeup the same way that I did it in my smoky eye tutorial that I just posted 2 weeks ago, I think. So I'll link that video to this one. I added some lipstick. This is the MAC lip liner in Cherry, topped with the Kylie Cosmetics Velvet Lipstick in Surprise Me. And then I've gotten to topping all of my liquid lipsticks with gloss, so I just added a touch of the Fenty Diamond Milk. Curled my hair. I am gonna have a hair care routine and like a wavy hair tutorial, like hairstyling tutorial coming soon. Just need to film that. My earrings are Bobble Bar. So yeah. So when you see me on Instagram, which if you're not following me, you should be, this is basically how I get my glam base makeup. If you have any other video suggestions, things that maybe you've seen on Instagram or something that you want to know like how I do, I have a video all about how I take my Instagram photos, which is another question people keep asking me. I'll link that video to this one as well. But yeah, if you have any other video requests, let me know. Leave a comment in the comment section below. I love to hear from you. I love your suggestions. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please give it a big thumbs up. And if you want to be an everyday star Starlet and bring a little bit of glamour to everyday life, then please hit that subscribe button. You can follow me on all my social media channels, especially Instagram. I'm very active on Instagram. They will all be linked in the description box below, along with a link to all of the products that I use in this video that I can still find links to. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you join me next time.